Hi everyone, Mark Gilliard here for AIM Country Music Television, and my guest is Alex Miller. You probably already know Alex from his stint on season 19 of American Idol. He was a fierce competitor and displayed a fierce loyalty to country music throughout the competition. Since that time, Alex has grown as an artist, a writer, and as a performer. He's still every bit as country as he ever was, but has found a sound and style that represent him very well. He's opened for Josh Turner, Brooks and Dunn, and Hank Williams Jr. He's released lots of music and has lots more in store for 2023. Alex is here today to talk about his new release, When God Made the South. Let's get him in here right now to talk about what might just be your new favorite song. Alex, thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, I'm glad to be here with you, Mark. Thanks for having me on here today.
Well, you're very welcome. How are you getting along today?
Oh, we're getting to it. I tell you, this time of year, we're just kind of taking her kind of slow, but we got a lot of things coming up here soon, so just taking her day by day.
Sounds good. We'll try to get to all those today while we're on here.
That sounds like a plan.
Well, cool. Well, you made a pretty big splash on American Idol on season 19, so I'm guessing a lot of the folks out there already know lots about you, but I still think it'd be a good idea to bring us all up to date. Why don't you give us a little intro so we know, we're all on the same page. Tell us how you got started, the things you've done, and where you're headed in 2023.
Well, I tell you what, I started singing whenever I was about 3 years old, and then guitar about 6. So I'd come out of the womb pretty much just singing and a picking. And my mama says my first word was tractor. I grew up on a farm in Lancaster, Kentucky. I'm 19 years old. I was on American Idol, and I've just got to go and do a lot of crazy little things. I've opened for people like Hank Williams Jr., Brooks and Dunn, Josh Turner, Brett Young. I've got to meet the who's who of Nashville, and just been very, very, very blessed and fortunate. And I always said, Idol was kind of like I felt kind of like a robber, really. I've been trying to get into the country music establishment through the window, and Idol kicked the door down for me. So it's completely changed my life and opened my world up. And I'm just an old farm boy from Lancaster. That's really what I am, and what you see is what you get.
Well, luckily people like that, so you're good.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Well, you've had a couple of songs done really well already. You had the Don't Let the Barn Door Hit You and Through With You. A minute ago, I was listening to some music and found That's What Christmas Is For. So everybody else ought to go add that to their list and get that on the Christmas list for the next week or so.
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. That's a fun little number. As everybody knows, you cut Christmas songs in the middle of August, so it's like, what are we cutting this for in the middle of summer? But people are really enjoying that song.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's awesome. Well, you're here to talk about your new song, When God Made the South. Why don't you take a minute or two to tell us about it?
Yeah, I sure will. So this was a song that three guys got together and wrote. Lee Black, who's a legendary songwriter, Aaron Wilburn, who unfortunately passed away about a year or two ago, and then Jerry Salley. They all three are hit songwriters within their own right, and they got together and wrote this song about 2 or 3 years ago, and they were having trouble getting it cut. And so they came to me with it, and I said, well, Lord, yeah, that's a great song, and it's just exactly what I'm needing right now. A little more rocking, a little more upbeat, and pushing my boundaries just a little bit. And I love it, and I think folks are really enjoying it too. We're doing good on Spotify streams, and just very, very blessed and thankful for the song.
Fantastic. Yeah, I noticed it definitely still sounds very much Alex Miller, but I do like that it's got the little country beat to it. You've not strayed from that country thing, though. I mean, you are definitely holding faithful to making sure that it's still solidly in the camp.
My producer that works with me, son, he says, Alex Miller, whenever you sing, it just comes out cornbread, and I believe him.
That's what people want. I think that's the reason we gravitate to this. You like the country music, and you like somebody that can do country music, like country music.
That's right. That's why it's called country music, right?
Exactly. Well, I'm ready to play. You want to play the video?
Well, let's do it.
All right, sounds good. You're watching Alex Miller's video for When God Made the South on AIM Country Music Television.
There's no doubt he had a real good day. There were blackberries blooming in the red dirt clay, and the smell of jasmine floating through the pines. I bet he knew right then we'd love our chicken fried and sweet tea to wash it down. When God made the South. put grits and gravy in our blood. He put the Delta blues in the Mississippi mud. He put lazy and Sunday so we'd sit a spell. And he put the buckle in the Bible belt. And the draw, y'all, we can't get out when God made the sound. In the beginning, He blessed this place. We got blue suede shoes and amazing grace. Barbecue in backwoods, He said it's all good, and sent a little heaven down when God made the sound. I was born one of the chosen few, and I can't help but thinking, baby, somehow He knew that I'd be falling for an angel right here tonight. Under the moon that He hung in the sky, He already had it all planned out when God made the sound. In the beginning, He blessed this place. We got free bird and amazing grace. Barbecue in backwoods, He said it's all good, and sent a little heaven down when God made the sound. Can I get an amen? Amen. Can I get an amen? Amen. Can I get an amen for the armadillos and the magnolias, moon pie and RC cola? And how many times Charlie done told you what happened to the devil when he went down to Georgia? In the beginning, He blessed this place. We got jambalaya and amazing grace. Barbecue and backwoods, He said it's all good, and sent a little heaven down. He sent a little heaven down when God made the sound. When God made the sound.
And now that is a party song. Well done, sir.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we had a good time filming that booger too.
Oh yeah, no doubt. Yeah, it's you had quite a little roster of people playing there, didn't you?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It's what we like to call it. You know, it's the Texas Pete of my music videos right now. It's a little saucy, but we like it, and the girls that were in it did a really good job, and it was cool getting a different perspective than we normally do. You know, Barn Door was kind of funny, upbeat, and Through With You was a little more serious, and you know, this music video was a little more just having a good time and partying, and I think we need all kinds of different types of music like that.
Oh yeah, I think this one will make some playlists. It's a real anthem to the South. Tell us about the team that helped you do this video. Who did your recording and concepting, that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, so it was me and Steve Kenny. We kind of got together and put that video together in a week. The label that I'm working with is Billy Jam Records, and they said, hey, we need a little music video for When God Made the South. And I said, well, yeah, we can do something. And so I called Steve up, and he's the one that produced the Barn Door video and Through With You. And I called him up and I said, hey, Steve, we need to have a video here. You know, my manager's saying we need to do something that, shows off what my shows are like, shows off my personality a little bit more. And he said, okay, how about we get some girls out on your farm and ride around in four-wheelers and trucks? And I said, yeah, that sounds like a great idea to me. I said, let's do it. And so we got together, and the girls are local. They're from Lexington. One of them, they're both from Lexington. It was Callaway Denton was one of the girls, and then Gracie Thompson was the other. And they were just local models kind of deal. And we asked them if they'd want to come be a part of it, and they said sure. And it all come together so good, and the video turned out, and the product turned out the way we wanted it to. That's for sure.
Yeah, it did. Turned out very good. Well, you've built up quite a roster of original music. We've been following you a little bit, and it kind of feels to me like you're finding your sound, the voice that that is Alex Miller. You seem to start solidly traditional country sound and style, and then you gradually twist and add things to a little country rock here and there, other influences. What and who does influence the sound that is you?
That's a good question. It's kind of whatever I'm into at the time. When I was recording When God Made the South, I was listening to a lot of Kiss, so I feel like that was probably part of the more rocking thing with that one. But it all depends on the mood I'm in. I write whatever I feel, and that's what every writer really does, is they write how they feel about things. And so I've been writing a lot of swing stuff lately, so I'm kind of getting back into the swing stuff. But I love the rock side of things, and we're doing some slower country stuff. I've been working on a record or an album or some songs that we're going to release here before too long. And so we recorded When God Made the South with that set. And man, I tell you, it's a good combination. That's what I like to do. With my first record, it was very traditional, and it was very swingy, very traditional. And with this next set, I'm trying to just branch out and see what folks really like from me, and kind of go in that direction. And from what I gather so far, they like the upbeat stuff. They like the slow stuff. So I don't know. I guess I'm just doing something right or doing something very wrong, and people are listening either way. So it's really, really neat for me to see what people do like in my music and what songs still get streamed the most.
Yeah, well, and I think the thing that's happening too is I think you are really getting into a stride where, like when you hear a song by you now, it sounds like you rather than just generic country. Some of the earlier ones, you were really good, but it didn't sound like you would recognize who it was.
Yeah.
And these songs here, these are songs that you'll say, oh, that's Alex Miller. This song, oh, that's Alex Miller. And I think that's probably where you needed to be to get the attention.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of what we wanted to do. Traditional country is great, but I love it. It's the music that I grew up with, and a lot of people grew up with, and that's the music that I'm probably going to stay true to. And don't matter what I sing, it's going to sound like a traditional country singer doing something. But you've got to find your own voice and your own style of doing things. And if I could find something between what their folks are doing now and kind of what they were doing in the past, then I think that together would make a great combination. That's kind of what the South, God Made the South was about. It was about putting those two types of music together and seeing where they form, and that's kind of what we come up with was When God Made the South.
Yeah, I love the way it kind of bounces along, but you have that really, really strong guitar part there in the middle of it. I mean, it's
and we still got fiddle and steel guitar in there too.
It's the combination.
I can't let you leave without telling us where to find you online, on stage, and where to buy or listen to all this music.
Well, yeah. So the best place to find me is on all platforms. It's A Miller Music. That's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it. That's the handle to type in is A Miller Music. Now, I also have music on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Music, and just type in Alex Miller, and I should pop right up at the top. I got a little blue check by me, so just click on me and download my music, and hope y'all are enjoying When God Made the South. And that's about it right there, Mark.
That sounds good. I think that'll get people out to check you out, and that's the main thing. Just get more people exposed to that music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on, Alex. It's been great getting to know you a little better today.
Well, yeah, you too. And if you ever need me back for anything, just let me know.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Miller. So what do you guys think? Is When God Made the South going to be your new favorite song? This has been Mark Gillette for AIM Country Music Television. Thank you for watching.
When God